Okay.
All right, I just saw the news came out with the employment numbers for this last month, and
Okay. Those are typically, in my opinion, most employment numbers are bogus, but what do you have to say?
well, they are bogus, but they're trying to make the economy better with those employment numbers. 339,000 jobs were created this last month, and it's like great. Now, how many of them were living wage jobs? Let's define a job. Okay, you cannot say that the economy's changing, everything's great. 339,000 jobs were created this last month. Great, you can create 1,000,000 jobs, but if they're all $7 an hour jobs, that is not helping the economy. So the bogus of those jobs and the job creations, they're probably made up. I mean, the media sells it, right? That's the theory. The media sells it and we live it.
Well,
So
I
there's
suppose because it's October, are these seasonal jobs anyway, or are they permanent? Because
I
that's
have no
that's
idea.
also
See,
another like bogus part of it is
yeah,
because they're not necessarily permanent jobs. They might be all the stores and the shipping companies getting ready to hire for the holiday season.
that's true. And what should happen is we should know, we should be told what these jobs are that were created. If they were part-time jobs, we should be told they're part-time jobs. We shouldn't be sat there and told that the 339,000 jobs that were created is going to make the economy better.
Well, I don't
Because
even know how they know where the jobs were coming from. Like, who knows that they hired? How
I
do
don't know, the news media,
how do they track that? Is it by suddenly Social Security payments go
I think they
higher?
track it by, I think they track it by unemployment numbers, which are bogus too. And
Yeah,
you
because half
know,
the people that are unemployed ran out of benefits. They didn't get a
right. And so unemployment numbers are down, right? Hey, the economy's better. Unemployment numbers are down, but they're down because everybody ran out of benefits and now they're going to struggle to go look for a job. Maybe they were lucky enough to get one of those 339,000 jobs that were just created last month that might be minimum wage. They still can't pay their bills with. That's the whole thing, you know. My gripe with everything is they tell the news media or somebody reports it or somebody researches it, and then the news media is all over it and they don't explain it. They just say, oh, the jobs numbers report were out and the stocks went up because there were $400,000, I mean, excuse me, 400,000 jobs created last month. So that means the economy is getting better. So stock market went up because the fat cats that play the market, or even the ones that are just day players or just dabble in the stocks, they shift things back and forth when different markets do things. You know, but mostly the people that make the real money are buying the big you know, 1,000,000 shares here or 1,000,000 shares there. That's what actually drives the market, I think, is when somebody goes in and says, hey, let's see, I think I want to buy, I'm a big shot stock market guy. People watch me. I think I'm going to go in and buy 1,000,000 shares of Delta Airlines. And then all the little guys say, oh, he's buying 1,000,000 shares. Something must be going on. So everybody runs out and buys a bunch of shares of Delta Airlines. The stock goes up and he cashes out his million, makes millions of dollars, and then leaves
Yeah, what's
everybody
the
holding the
guy?
bags.
What's the guy's name that does the old guy? What's his name?
Warren Buffett.
Yeah, him.
Yeah, he's one of the greedy, stingy guys on the planet.
I wonder about that when you say it that way, because in Utah, didn't he buy and help RC Willie like stay as a store and even expand?
He bought
I
RC
thought he
Willie's
bought RC
because
Willie.
he bought RC Willie and Sons, and now it's RC Willie, and they expanded, but he bought him out
Yeah.
because
Didn't he,
he
didn't
ran the
his,
numbers and
didn't
he
he,
saw
did-
how.
but didn't he make it better even by buying him out?
Well, yeah, he has the money to make them better.
Okay, well then he's not a
See,
full stingy greed
RC,
monger only. He does, maybe he does a few good things.
well,
I mean, I don't know the guy,
maybe,
but
but you know that furniture markup on a furniture is almost 500%.
yeah, that's why they can
So
do.
if you run the numbers, on furniture, and you can get furniture at a decent price because you can buy in bulk, or you can do stuff like that, you can make a bunch of money off of furniture. And what he did is he ran the numbers because that's what he does. And he saw where he could run the numbers and make it profitable for him. So he'll go in and he'll buy a little company like, C's Candies, C's Chocolate. He owns C's Chocolate. He owns Mrs. Fields Cookies. He owns RC Willie, and and you can make a lot of money doing that if you can run the numbers and see the popularity of a product or service, and you can make bank. Because if you have the money to invest in it, you can get tenfold back. You have the money to invest in furniture, you might say, well, gee, I have to hawk out $10 million to make this work. And then you go out and you make a deal on furniture in bulk. And then all of a sudden you got all these furniture and all these stores and makes everything good. And then it's marked up 500%. And then all of a sudden off their $10 million investments, $50 million roll in.
I guess you wish you had $10 million to do that.
I don't know. I'd probably scare people off.
I didn't know that he owned some of those companies that you mentioned, but it looks like.
Oh,
he did.
yeah. Well, it's Berkshire Hathaway, which used to be a textile company back in the 60s when he bought it. And he owns Berkshire Hathaway, and that's what he puts all his companies under. He also owns Rocky Mountain Power and Dominion Energy, and I guess Nevada Power.
It looks like he likes to invest in sort of the middle of the country. Like not the coasts, not the
no, he invests and he invests where he can get monthly payments too, and a guy that owns that, I don't know what it takes to run something that big. I'm sure he might not know. He's got people in place, but the prices are so high for natural gas and electricity in these Midwestern states where he owns it. He needs to be a little giving, and these senior citizens that are freezing to death that they find in their home wrapped in blankets and froze to death, he needs to set in place something where he can help. He's got $100 billion. He can help, but instead he chooses to spend it on money machine like the Bill Gates Foundation, where he can write off his charitable contributions, and that's just a money machine for the rich. The Bill Gates Foundation doesn't churn out anything. Nothing. He says he's trying to cure cancer, but he's not churning out shit with any of that money that he's getting. So it's just a write-off. It's just a circular money machine for the wealthy.
What were we talking about when we started this?
Jobs.
Jobs.
Oh, jobs. Okay. Yeah. And they hire people for jobs, and then they give them low wages and You know, those, for all I know, Bill Gates Foundation could have been the sole thing of those 339,000 jobs. It's highly unlikely, but I think there, like you said, there's probably jobs with either part-time of a small business that expanded, or seasonal work for the upcoming season for Christmas and stuff like that.
Yeah, for job numbers at this time of year, probably. But
Yeah, but 339,000 across the United States isn't very good. It's and they're not living wage jobs either. So they're second jobs for some people that were lucky enough to get them, and maybe first jobs for younger people who are lucky to get them. You know, somebody that's going to high school that would want some extra Christmas money, and you know, they'll go in after school at nighttime and part-time and work for $7.25 for 3 or 4 hours after, you know, while the store's open, and hang clothes out for Walmart or Kohl's or Target, or you know, something like that, or they'll do a seasonal thing for Christmas land or whatever, you know.
yeah. All right.
So, but the job numbers are just bogus, like you said at the first.
Well,
Bogus.
maybe people who are watching know better. Are the job numbers bogus? What do they actually represent? Let us know.